Hey guys, sebchoof here. Realm of the Mad God is a damn hard game, probably one of the hardest ones I've ever played, because of its insane amount of content to learn, and the extreme punishment when you do die. But don't worry guys, I'm here to the rescue. Here's 5 tips to become a god at Realm of the Mad God. First, with a bonus tip. Did you guys know that if you use code sebchoof at checkout on their website to buy Realm Gold, you get 10% more and it supports the channel? Okay, but here's the real 5 main tips. Starting with the first, and this is a big one. Plan for your deaths. When you're playing, every character you see is gonna die eventually. So why are you playing as if you're gonna live forever? You're setting yourself up for failure, and you're gonna cry yourself to sleep when your character finally dies. Even worse is when you deck out a brand new character only for it to die moments later, and then the tilt really begins. And then you do it again and again and again until you have no items and quit. What you really want to do is 2 things. First, emotionally accept that the character you're playing on is going to have a funeral. Don't pretend it's not. I mean, unless you're one of those chickens that cheat, but with the uptick in bans, you're gonna get banned anyway. Bye! Don't feel bad if you are dying. The best players in the game die. Whether it's Japan, Lucas Mateo, Trey, General Maharaga, all these guys die, and surprisingly often. But that's what's gonna happen if you're pushing your limits, and not playing like a complete chicken. You also don't want to be a complete leecher at the back doing no damage all the time, because sure, you're dying less, but for what? I would take dying frequently for your sins to be the Jesus of Realm, over hiding in the back and getting carried and getting laughed at for never being able to do anything on your own. The second important thing to learn in regards to planning for your deaths is with items. You've accepted that your character is already gonna die eventually, so what are you gonna play next? What's your plan? Do you have items set up for it? You don't want to put everything on your current character, or else the next one will start with nothing. Something you can also do is stock up on chests from the Tinkerer and missions. This can really catapult your new characters instead of starting with absolutely nothing. If you are starting with 0, luckily I am making class progression guides for you now. Yes, you. We already have a sorcerer one up, and there's a warrior one coming to a cinema near you soon. Here's the second big tip to make yourself a Realm superstar. Forget about solely making your current character better, and also planning on your next one, but think about your account's permanent progression. You might think Realm of the Mad God is all about your current character and making it better, and then losing everything and starting with a new one, but there is 3 major things that you should be working on to make your entire account better off. There is 3 smaller things too, including your account level, your blueprints you've unlocked in the Forge, and also increasing your account space through character slots and chest tokens. You can get these through battle passes, missions, stuff like that, and the calendar. But the 3 major permanent account progressions you should be going for is 1, your pet, 2, your exalts, and 3, it's not really tied to your account, but skill. In regards to making your pet stronger, the stronger your pet is, the easier the game is by far. The game is so different with no pet compared to having a pet with 100 heal and magic heal. And luckily, I don't have to go into detail in this video of how to improve your pet, because there is a lot to talk about. I do already have a separate pet guide that you should check out. Link will be below along with everything else. So we can go straight to the next one, and that is Exalts. Exalts is a system that allows you to gain permanent stats, loot boost, and other insane effects, like increased rate of XP, damage, and decreased out of combat timer. You can also get some bonus cool things like cool looking pet skins and a class for each skin. My favorite part about Exalts is the drop rate boost you get. If you exalt every class, you get an extra 35%. Imagine how much that helps with farming an item or with your chest openings. You also basically get 20% more damage as well when you take into account the stats you get from exalting, so you should really have exalts in mind when you play. And while you should focus on exalting one class at a time, because you do get a bunch of stats for that class and an increased XP rate, but when you do exalt multiple characters, you have to make sure that they're the same weapon type and armor type. This is because once you exalt all classes of a weapon type, you get 25% loot boost, and a -1 second in combat timer if you exalt all classes of the same armor type. Avoid exalting, for example, like Sorcerer first and then Warrior second, because they're not related at all. This doesn't mean you can't play other classes. It just means you can't play 2 different classes a lot. I mean, still do it if you want, but if you do exalt 2 wildly different classes, you miss out on benefits. You do really want to get to that 25% loot boost for exalting all characters of the same weapon type, because then you can immediately use that for farming a specific item that you want, or for chest openings. Try to learn more difficult dungeons or get better at them to exalt even faster. Like for example, learn to trigger the hard mode in Spectral Penitentiary, or do the advanced version of Nest or Cogbold instead of the regular, since they give 2 to 3 times the exalts. Learn really difficult dungeons like Moon Knight Village, which I have a guide for by the way, or Oryx Free or Shadows, because they give a lot of exalts. And you can even learn how to do these dungeons faster by, for example, learning how to rush, because if you skip the clear time, that can be a lot of time. Don't get me started how long it takes to clear to the boss of Lost Halls if you have a not great character. But also, learning to kill bosses quicker is really helpful as well, because not only does that increase your exaltation rate, but if you kill bosses faster, it means you don't have to be dodging for as long, so you're safer as well. And that leads us perfectly to the third permanent progression aspect you should be working on. It's not as tangible as the previous two, but it's definitely the most important, and that is your skill. As you get better at Realm, everything becomes way faster. In terms of the items you get, how fast you progress characters, how fast you pick up Realm chicks. And once you get really good, the game is your bitch. Anything you want is yours. And this might be pretty controversial, but skill isn't just your micro-dodging, it includes your knowledge of the game, which in my opinion is actually way more important than micro-dodging. Micro-dodging is so overrated in Realm of the Mad God. It's so important to know everything about the game. Like for example, knowing how to progress your character, which I'm making the guides for, how bosses behave so you can take them down easier, everything about the shots, so their trajectory, damage, projectile speed, and how that changes, then building that into your subconscious. When you see really good players playing Realm of the Mad God, they're not deciding how to dodge on the spot constantly. They know ahead of time what the boss is going to do, making dodging in advance way easier. A lot of Realm of the Mad God in the endgame is just standing in the right spots. The most important reason to increasing your skill is how to exalt faster, because exalting can take quite a while, and the difference between a good and bad player doing it can be insane. But this leads me perfectly as well to the third way to become a god at Realm of the Mad God, and that is learn from yourself and others. Now I know this might sound pretty obvious, but the amount of times I see people dying to the same things is crazy. Set up some recording software so you can watch your nexuses or deaths back to see how you can replay that moment more effectively, where you wouldn't have nexused or died. If you're not sure what you did wrong, you can also post it in the help channel of my Discord, where we have many goats quick to answer any questions you might have. More on that later, but even watching other players will give you a good idea of what to look out for. There's many of these guys on YouTube and Twitch. Like for example, a common death and curse library is sitting on the big minions because you wouldn't expect it, but they insta-kill. But since I've seen so many clips of this happening to other people, it's never happened to me and never will. I will not touch them. I mean, a great way to learn is by watching my content. I stream the game pretty regularly and I'm constantly doing insane challenges where I show my insane knowledge of the game, and you'll learn from that too. I'm also really quick to answer anything I read in chat, as long as it's not going too fast, but I mostly focus on gameplay with really bad items and petless, really learning the nitty-gritty of each dungeon to see how to do it optimally, but there's other players you can learn from which are better at doing dungeons fast with busted gear. The fourth thing you must learn to become a god at RotMG: to chill out. Don't take the game so seriously. Grind's too hard and the game won't be as fun. And if you're having a bad day and constantly dying and just trying to grind past it, you'll make no progress and burn out. If you're having an unlucky day or you're having a bit of a skill issue, like if you've had a death or you haven't been able to get items that you're looking for and it's pissing you off, it's a good idea to take a break. I remember when I lost my first 8-8, I really should have taken a break. But when I was playing on my first ever stacked 8-8 archer and I died to those damn ocean trench horses, I was pissed and wanted revenge right away. So immediately I jumped on my 8-8 priest, and very shortly after I died stupidly in the Oryx castle, less than an hour later. And after that I took a 6-month break. Don't let that be you. It's just a game. The worst thing you can do is crash out and start cheating. But you're not that pathetic. You're a choofer after all. Stay on the honorable side, take my hand, and become a Realm prodigy. The last and probably most important point is to join good Realm communities. Realm is an MMO. While you can play it solo, it's a lot slower and can get lonely. Playing with others is generally more fun, though don't rely too much on other players because they can just carry. It is good to test your skills solo time to time, but the communities that I was talking about, there's a few of them, and firstly the big one is guilds. While guilds don't actually provide too many benefits in-game, it is really nice to have players that you can message right away through the guild chat, and they often have a Discord server as well that you can keep in touch with and voice chat in. It's really fun doing guild runs with people that you're familiar with. You really want to find a good anti-cheating guild, because those are usually filled with players looking to better themselves instead of more lazy players looking to quickly fix their immense lack of skill. Guilds I can strongly recommend are WASD, Little Heroes, Hoodlums, Wombology, and there's way more that I'm not sure about. If you're looking for a legit guild, check out the guild's RotMG pages that I mentioned and message the founders to see if you can join. The second group you really want to join is streams. Now, I'm not taking this opportunity to self-promo for the 1000th time. There's many awesome Twitch streams that you can check out. The great thing about joining random Twitch streams is they're often playing with their communities, so it's kind of like playing with a guild. The third communities you want to join are Discord communities. They can help you become way better. Now, I strongly recommend against joining cheating raiding discords, like Shiny Hunters and Pub Halls for example, because you're not really going to learn from steamrolling everything, and having a culture that allows cheaters to play alongside them is really weird and odd, especially because many of their staff members are cheaters themselves. I should also warn you, there's some parties that use cheaters, but they change names often, so just be aware of that. If you want to become the best you can, it's actually best to play in a busy realm. Usually that will be in US East, US East 2, or EU West. They have the most players. And yeah, you're better off doing an assortment of dungeons with a smaller group, rather than doing the same dungeon tens of times in a steamroll, not needing to really do anything because of how OP everyone is. Is that really going to make you a better player? By far the best realm of the Mad God community you can join, and I'm not biased, is mine at discord.gg/sebchoof, link down below. I'm extremely proud of my help channel, it's insane. There's so many great players jumping to the opportunity to answer any questions you might have, whether it's sending a screenshot of your gear and asking what you should farm for next, or sending a clip of your gameplay and asking how you can do better next time, or really anything. We also have giveaways set up. You just need to go to the giveaways channel and react to this message that the bot spits out to join each week. If you only join a handful of times, you're basically guaranteed to win. I give away hundreds of items per month thanks to these. There's also more giveaways for Twitch subscribers, members, and patrons depending on your tier. Big shout out to them, by the way. I'm also super active in the text channels in the Discord and looking to get more active in the voice channels as well. If this video helped you, please like and subscribe. We're on the path to hit 50,000 subs on YouTube. I'm also planning to upload more tip videos, one for brand new beginners and one for realm players that are already great but could use a bit more. I'll catch you then. Peace.